If you've been doom scrolling too much lately, I've got good news for you. The world's actually doing okay. Your body's fixing itself, the ozone's healing up, and statistically, most of your worst fears will never even happen. So before your brain opens another what if tab, let's close a few with facts. I'm Mike with List 25, and these are 25 calming facts to ease your mind. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe with that notification bell. It truly helps the channel. And let us know what other topics you'd like to see next. With all that said, let's breathe in, breathe out, and let's go. 25. Most of the things we worry about never happen. Do you ever catch yourself worrying about things that haven't even applied for existence yet? No? Just me? Okay, cool. Either way, here's the truth. Studies show that most of those disasters never actually happen. Researchers who tracked people's daily worries found about 91% of them never came true. That means your anxiety is running a horror show that nobody asked for. And when those worries did happen, people handled them way better than expected. So really, worrying buys you nothing but a lousy night's sleep. Next time your mind schedules an emergency meeting, tell it you're booked. Cancel the meeting and go do literally anything else. 24. The Earth is getting greener. It's easy to think that the planet's headed downhill, but NASA satellites have confirmed a 5% increase in green cover since 2000. That's about 5.5 million square kilometers of extra vegetation, almost the size of the Amazon rainforest. And guess who's responsible for most of that extra green? China and India, of all places. Together, they've added huge stretches of farmland and trees, including what's come to be known as China's massive Green Great Wall. Not all of Earth's new green is in the form of untouched forest, though. Roughly 1/3 of the new greening comes from forest growth and 2/3 from croplands and agriculture. But even the farmland boom means that we have more photosynthesis and therefore more life on the surface of the planet. 23. People prefer to laugh. Laughing isn't something we grow into. We're wired for it. Babies start laughing as early as 3 months, and by 8 months, they've already figured out how to make you do it. From there, our humor just gets more complicated. A toddler's peekaboo usually becomes a teenager's practical joke, which is just a slightly meaner version with car keys. But the best part of all of this is that we're not the only ones who find things funny. Great apes have been seen teasing each other, dolphins and elephants enjoy the odd fun tricks, and rats make sounds just like laughter when they're being tickled. Even dogs are in on it. Scientists think laughter's main job is to strengthen social bonds, to remind the group that it's safe to relax. Whether a chimp's giggle means the same thing is still up for debate, but we're definitely hardwired to look for the funny side of life. 22. You can fight loneliness with words. Scientists have discovered that you can overcome the feeling of loneliness with something as simple as what you call it. They did a study of almost 700 participants and found that when individuals referred to their time spent alone as me time instead of isolation, their perspective shifted completely. The me time crowd ended up feeling relaxed, centered, and even grateful for the break. The isolation group, on the other hand, associated it with stress and exclusion. So, same situation, but totally different outcome. The takeaway is that your brain listens to your vocabulary. If you label solitude as self-care instead of loneliness, it starts to feel like it. 21. Kindness means more than money. Researchers from Oxford, Gallup, and the UN found that 7 out of 10 people around the world did something kind for someone else last month. That's billions of people proving we're not as selfish as social media makes us look. And while most people think a bigger paycheck would make life better, the latest World Happiness Report says kindness actually does more for your happiness than money ever could. And it goes both ways. Even spending a few dollars on someone else gives you a bigger emotional bond than spending it on yourself. Your brain reacts to kindness the same way it does to a reward. It just feels good. The fastest way to feel wealthy is to help others. Trust me, go try it. 20. Screen time can be good for your memory. You know how everyone's always told us that too much screen time will rot our brains? Well, a huge University of Texas study followed over 400,000 adults past the age of 50 and found that people who used digital technology more often had better memory and stronger cognitive health. The effect was even strong enough to rival known brain boosters like exercise and lifelong learning. Screen time forces you to process new information all the time. Whether it's exploring a new social media platform, chatting to friends, or simply learning something completely random online, list 25, your brain stays active, flexible, and curious. Maybe that's why scientists say the same devices blamed for digital dementia might actually be protecting us from it. 19. Trees literally make people happier. Study after study keeps finding that time in green spaces lowers our anxiety, eases stress, and helps us sleep. 15 minutes in a forest made volunteers noticeably less anxious. An hour through campus parkland even sharpened working memory for young adults. This effect isn't confined to real bark. One study in Amsterdam showed students ordinary photos of tree-lined paths and then stressed them with math. After the test, the students who viewed the green pictures recovered faster, and their heart rates dropped to normal, while the group who had to look at city scenes stayed tense. That suggests trees don't have to be majestic to work. You can basically just take a look at a picture of a tree and get the added benefits. 18. The ozone layer is healing faster than expected. In the 80s, scientists found a massive hole in the ozone layer over Antarctica, and the world panicked. For good reason, too, right? I mean, it's part of our atmosphere that blocks harmful UV rays. But just a couple of months ago, researchers at MIT confirmed that the hole's finally healing. Quickly, too, and for all the right reasons. The new research shows the improvement is a direct result of reducing CFCs, the chemicals eating through the ozone layer. The best part? They are 95% sure about it. At this rate, the hole could disappear completely in the next decade or two, and we did that. 17. Dogs are pretty good at fixing people. Everyone knows that I love dogs. But you know that warm awe moment when a dog comes over and sits by you? Science has started giving it a name. Therapy. Studies from 2024 and 2025 show that dog-assisted sessions aren't just mere feel-good pseudopsychology. They actually reduce anxiety in severe settings. Think kids in the ER, adults in rehab, people under pressure. In fact, one study found that interacting with the dog can mirror the same level of emotional support we get from our best friends or even parent-child ties. So when you give a dog a scratch behind the ear, you're probably helping yourself in the process and not even realizing it. 16. Your worst feelings only last about 90 seconds. That moment when you lose your temper, hear sad news, or experience the worst moment you've ever had in your life can feel like it lasts forever. But your body gets over it in 90 seconds or less. Neuroscientists say that's how long it takes for the chemical rush behind an emotion to burn out. After that, the only reason it sticks around is because we keep replaying it in our heads. If you can just wait out that minute and a half, the wave usually passes on its own. It's not easy, but knowing there's a timer on bad feelings makes them a little less scary. 15. You can get things done. Most people end the day exhausted, but still feel behind. The small stuff always wins. Our emails, errands, updates. We have a dozen tiny fires that never stop burning. The big things, the ones that matter most, keep getting postponed for when things quiet down. But they never do. Here's what helps. Stop for 60 seconds and reset your body before your brain. Take a slow breath in, and then a second quick sip of air, and then let it out slowly. That alone lowers stress chemicals almost immediately. If you can, step outside, stretch, or just look away from the screen for a bit. Or hey, look at a picture of a tree. Once you do, your priorities will start making sense again. 14. Laughter resets your stress hormones almost immediately. Here's what you need to know about laughter. Whatever bugs you will start to feel better because laughter affects your body within seconds. When you laugh, your nervous system jumps out of stress mode and slides straight into recovery. Stress hormones like cortisol drop fast, your immune system perks up, and your brain gets a nice dose of endorphins. One study even showed cortisol levels dropping by nearly 40% after a good laugh. And you don't need a whole Netflix special to make it happen. A few minutes of real, ugly, can't breathe laughter does the job. It's why your whole mood changes after joking with someone, even if nothing about your day actually got better. Your body already decided it was. 13. You don't have to be good at something to benefit from it. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that if we're not great at something, it's not worth doing. That's a total myth, okay? Research shows that doing something once in a while still helps. Dabbling is 100% great for you. You can paint once a year, bake only on holidays, or show up to yoga when you remember you own a mat. It gives you all the benefits a professional gets from it. It keeps your brain flexible, your mood lighter, and your sense of self a little bigger than your to-do list. You meet new people, bump into old ones, and maybe even surprise yourself. The point isn't mastery, it's motion. You're allowed to do things just for the joy of doing them. 12. Even dolphins have best friends. We're not the only ones who stick with our friends. Take cows, for example. When cows are penned with their besties, their heart rate stays lower and they're calmer. Farmers have even noticed that relaxed cows eat more, rest better, and give more milk. Dolphins have best friends too. Researchers found that male dolphins form lifelong alliances in Shark Bay, Australia, sometimes lasting for decades. They swim together, protect each other, and even come up with matching whistles so they can recognize each other. It's not random either. They choose friends with similar habits, ones that hunt the same way or use the same tools. Some of them even team up to help each other find mates. Having someone matters for all of us. 11. You're already enough. You're not a project waiting to be perfected. Research-backed psychology has confirmed that constant self-improvement can actually be the exact opposite of helpful, because you keep finding fault with yourself. When people stop trying to endlessly upgrade themselves and instead accept where they are, something magical happens. We laugh more, worry less, and start to enjoy life again. The strategy isn't fix yourself, but be with yourself. You don't need another workshop or app. You need to stop thinking you're incomplete. You're enough now, and believing that will change everything you do next. 10. Gratitude completely changes your brain. Brain scans show that people who focus on what they're thankful for light up areas like the medial prefrontal cortex and ventral striatum, the same areas of the brain that handle reward and emotional regulation. In plain English, when you practice gratitude, the parts of your brain that handle reward and social connection actually light up more. Your brain starts getting better at seeing the good and positive things in your life instead of scanning for what's wrong all the time. Research from UCLA even found that people who practiced gratitude regularly had stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, and slept better at night. Gratitude also triggers dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals most antidepressants try to boost. The more often you do it, the more your brain rewires itself to look for the positives without you even noticing. 9. You were born to figure shit out. Here's a fact to make you feel slightly less dramatic about tomorrow. Problems are what we do. If you handed humans a puzzle and a deadline, we would grumble and then solve it. You want proof? Look at antibiotics, the steam engine, the miracle of turning crude oil into millions of products, or the biotech fiddling that made a yeast stain that behaves like it was engineered by a lab with too much coffee. Those weren't accidents falling from the sky. They were the result of people figuring out how to combine tiny things into something useful. The possibility space for solutions is enormous, and yes, it is mostly unexplored. That sounds scary until you realize that viable solutions tend to cluster. You tweak one thing and a dozen new options open up. Evolution did the slow work, and we brought intelligence to the party. 8. There are benefits to a broken heart. A breakup, a betrayal, a major loss, they are all terrible. But research shows us that these kinds of events can trigger something incredible: transformation. In one paper on romantic relationship breakdowns, the authors found that the people who still believed that there was something worth building after a breakup, a new life, new goals, or new love, showed more measurable growth. When you're forced to reevaluate what you believe, who you are, and what you want, the shift can be massive. It doesn't mean the hurt or the memories disappear. It means you start to see yourself more clearly, make smarter choices, and handle the hard stuff better next time. So, if you are in that space right now, just know this. You're doing more than surviving. You're building the next version of you. 7. Humans don't just survive together. We thrive together. Harvard's Adult Development Study has tracked what really makes people thrive for more than 80 years. And the answer wasn't diet, DNA, or money. It was community. People who stayed woven into the fabric around them, whether that was by helping, talking, or showing up, lived longer, happier, and healthier lives. Even those who argued or disagreed still benefited from being part of something bigger. The people most connected at 50 were the healthiest at 80. Our bodies literally respond to belonging with calmer nerves and stronger immune systems. If you've been keeping to yourself, start small. Wave to the mail carrier or chat with the barista. Those tiny social stitches add years to your life. 6. Growing older has never looked so good. 200 years ago, the average person didn't even make it to 40. Today, global life expectancy sits at around 71, and in some countries, it's already past 80. According to Oxford's Our World in Data, that's more than double what humans could expect just a few generations ago. Clean water, vaccines, sanitation, and medicine have completely reshaped the human timeline. And it's not just that we live longer. Infants, adults, and the elderly are less likely to die from causes that used to be common. Every prediction about a limit to life expectancy has been broken again and again. We're getting good at maintenance. Humanity isn't racing against the clock anymore. It's adjusting it. If this keeps up, the next generation might treat 90 as the new normal. And that means more time with grandkids and more opportunities to change the future. 5. The sound of rain is free therapy. The steady pattern of rainfall triggers your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that slows your pulse and lowers stress hormones like cortisol. A study in PNAS found that water sounds, including rain, had the strongest effect on mood and anxiety out of all natural noises tested. It's about safety signals. Your brain evolved to relax when the world sounds steady, and rain tells it everything's fine. The result is slower breathing, lower blood pressure, and a calm that most meditation apps can only dream of. If you're tense, put on a rain playlist at low volume. It's steady enough to drown out distractions, but soft enough not to steal your focus. Give it 10 minutes and see what happens. You'll thank me later. 4. You've survived 100% of your worst days. Yeah, I know, that's a quote. But it's also a fact. Every single one of your bad days has ended the same way. You're still here. And that's a perfect record. Your brain learns from adversity. Every time you think you've hit your limit, you build a new one. It's training, just not the gym kind. I already told you that those of us who'd been through rough patches come out stronger, more empathetic, and more focused on what matters. The pain isn't permanent, but your adaptation to it is. So when your next crisis shows up, know that you've already beaten worse. Your track record is flawless, and the odds haven't changed. You don't have to be fearless, just consistent, because apparently, survival is your thing. 3. The moon's got us covered. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Earth stopped spinning? You really don't have to. We're fine. Actually, we're really fine. The moon's gravitational pull keeps Earth's angle steady at about 23.5 degrees, which means no wild wobbling, no oceans spilling across continents, and no surprise ice ages, no matter what the fridge scientists like to tell you. It's basically a built-in stabilizer that's been quietly doing its job for 4 billion years. Even if the moon disappeared tomorrow, which it won't, Earth wouldn't suddenly flip over. It would take millions of years for that kind of disorder to build up. The sun is also pulling its weight. It's only halfway through its 10 billion year life cycle, so we've got at least another 5 billion years before anything remotely traumatic happens there. 2. The ocean's upper layer is finding its balance. Scientists call it the mixed layer. But it's really just the part of the ocean that connects with the air above it. A 2025 study in Nature Scientific Reports found that top 200 meters of ocean water are becoming more uniform in density, which means it's calmer and easier to understand. That's good news for anyone who likes their climate data without too many surprises. And our tracking tools have never been better. In 2024, researchers tested new temperature models that predicted daily changes in ocean surface conditions with almost perfect accuracy. So, we're not just guessing anymore. The more clearly we see how this layer shifts and mixes, the better we can forecast weather, protect marine life, and plan for the future before it sneaks up on us. 1. Most of the things stressing you out right now won't matter in 5 years. If there is one thing you take from today's video, let it be this. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't give it more than 5 minutes of your energy. I get it. I do the same thing. We get upset when things don't go our way, when someone sends a nasty email, or in my case, nasty comment. But most of the stuff you lie awake thinking about at night is just noise. It's things that probably won't even matter a week from now, never mind 5 years from now. You'll usually find that once you step back from a problem, it starts to shrink. Try to catch yourself the next time it happens. Take 5 minutes, feel whatever you need to feel, then move on. I know, it's easier said than done, but once you start getting it right, you'll realize something simple. The world keeps spinning, and you've still got a whole lot of life to live. And there you have it. 25 reminders that the world isn't falling apart. You're probably just reading too much news. Sometimes all it takes is a good nap, a deep breath, or remembering that the moon's still got our back. If you enjoyed this list, you'll definitely want to check out our related video, 25 wonderful random facts to enjoy before going to sleep. I've covered everything from hippo poop to frozen bubbles, and somehow it's actually relaxing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and sleep well. You've earned it.